this lockout is getting a little ridiculous. The MLB lockout has reached...
You could say that again.
Well, I'll say it again. The lockout is getting a little ridiculous.
This is an abomination to society.
So this lockout, today is day 66.
Oh, my God.
And opening day and definitely spring training inevitably
spring
are
training
going
will
to
start
be
next
delayed.
week, right?
Should, but
And pitchers and catchers
not
would
going
report
to.
next week, yeah.
It's almost inevitable at this point that there's going to be a delay in the season at some capacity. So now, on Tuesday, Jeff Passan of ESPN tweeted saying that during the last meeting between league officials and the Players Association, there was little progress in negotiations. Surprise? Not really.
No.
MLB also said that they were preparing a counteroffer with, which they later backtracked on and decided to not propose a counteroffer. Really stale. That's pretty much the definition here between these.
That's
two
a good
sides.
adjective.
Yeah,
Good adjective
pretty
for
stale.
this.
So later in the week on Thursday, Passan then said MLB requested, and I quote, requested immediate assistance of a federal mediator to help resolve the sports lockout. And the MLB PA quickly responded and said, no, that is not happening. So, guys, a delay in the season is almost certain at this point, as we just touched on. So what do you think the right course of action is for both sides, the MLB and the MLBPA, in terms of negotiations?
So before we get into the discussion, I don't know if you guys saw Max Scherzer's tweet.
I did.
Yep.
Very,
I saw
very
this.
empathetic tweet.
He's the leader of the
Him and Andrew Miller.
MLBPA.
Andrew Miller's the...
Here is what he said. He said, we want a system where threshold and penalties for function as caps allow younger players to realize more of their market value, make service time manipulation a thing of the past, and eliminate tanking as a winning strategy. I think that is... I don't know why the MLB has an issue with that.
I don't see any problems at all.
I think the MLB needs to listen to the players. The players are sick and tired of the owners and MLB playing games with them. They keep getting all these things thrown at them. The season, obviously, it's not going to start on time. When and how many games we get, I'm not sure. However, I think it's safe to say if we get more than 100 games played this year, I think that will be a win for everyone and all parties involved. However, I think at some point, the owners have to make a compromise with these players because the players don't care. They have millions. The owners are going to start to lose millions and millions and millions of dollars. They only make money if the games are being played. So if they want money and they want to keep making money, sign a contract and make this thing happen so we can see some baseball. Because what else do we want to see?
And the fact that the owners are willing to wait out this long and lose that much money,
they're going to start to really...
It doesn't make any sense to me.
If
make
we're
any
canceling
sense
games,
at all.
there's going to be a lot of money lost.
Two shortened seasons in 3 years.
Yeah, that's
You
really
want to
not
grow
good.
this sport? MLB, personally, they do not do a good job marketing their players. I'm sorry. And the fact that you are going to play, and like we just said, it's gonna happen. You're going to play 2 shortened seasons in 3 years. Now, obviously, 2020... out of our control, out of everybody's control, but still, a shortened season is a shortened season. Two of them,
seasons in 3 years.
It's ridiculous. It's just, you want the next generation of people to be invested in baseball, do better. Do better.
I completely agree, and I like that take. Do better if you want the brand to keep growing.
It's very. I have no words. The first time in a while, I have no words.
Wow, we got Thomas Aiello.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I mean,
unbelievable.
What it really comes down to is act like children, be treated like children. It's the most stupidest, childish crap ever. The MLB players acting like children, some of them, with what they demand. I mean, again, baseball.
MLB players. I don't think.
Hold on.
I kind of see where Thomas is going. With this.
You need to work within the constraints that you're given with. This is not the NBA. Rob Manfred is the commissioner. You got to recognize that he's just not good at his job. That's the first thing you have to understand. Yes, he has to go.
He's done a pretty
May I nominate me to be commissioner of baseball.
Wow, that's bold.
No.
Why?
Because you would force every single MLB player to learn the history of Fordham basketball.
And then
Yeah, what's wrong? No, I'm
you,
kidding.
You make them print out
No, okay, we're not going that
record
far.
books and laminate all the pages.
But here's the most basic of things is to market the players, and they can't even do that. Like Mike Trout is an all-time great, right? I think
getting there. He's getting there.
I think he might be there.
ESPN had him at 15. I think that was a little high, but
That's a little yeah.
when it's all said and done,
He'll
could
be
around
way
there.
higher than that. I agree. But man,
Is
it's
Shohei Ohtani too.
I want him to go a little bit longer. Is
well,
that fair?
Yeah,
Can you
no,
say
no,
that?
I'm not ranking him all the time. I'm just saying he is one of the easiest players to market.
Yes.
And they don't
do
a
it. They
good
do a
job.
horrible job.
Fernando Tatis. That is like one of the only ones that they actually market.
Yeah.
And it's still not
so
that
bad.
good.
There's a lot of players now that they could be marketing.
Aaron Judge is so easy to market because he's so personable. I get that he's a little quiet, but it's like, it's a 6'7" right fielder that plays for the Yankees. Like, how do you not
just
market
the Yankees?
that?
The fact that he plays baseball.
Baseball, exactly. Thank you.
Did you guys know I'm from basically the same area as Aaron Judge?
I think
our high school.
Yeah, because
Our high school
where did he go to high
plays
school?
Linden High School.
That's right,
In,
that's
out
in
there.
northern central California.
That's out there.
Shout out Aaron Judge. I hate your high school.
Jesus
However,
Christ.
we play his high school. I went to Bret Hart High School. I'm actually wearing a Bret Hart shirt under this hoodie. But if Aaron Judge is listening to this, let's meet up sometime and grab some lunch.
I think I want to add this to this as well, that Rob Manfred, the blackouts and what he's doing now is the least of his sins. He's almost reminding me of, wow, this is going to be a wild comparison. It's like Richard Nixon. Like he's going to say he does things, and then it's just scandal after mess up after scandal after.
We are getting very political on this.
I'm just saying, no. It's like, why? What are you doing? What is your thought process here, man? You need to be okay. We're gonna do this, this, and this. We're gonna do this marketing plan. We got it. It's not hard. And what are you blacking out Yankee games for in the New York area? That's the worst part. Like you black out the local markets for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Well,
Thomas, you brought up a good point before about how some of the players, some of them, you could say they're acting a little childish on Twitter, but I saw a tweet yesterday that there's a lot of people that want everybody to pick a side.
You shouldn't pick a side.
There should not be a side.
No.
It takes
If you're going
two to tango.
I will say though,
There
if
you
you're
go.
going
Two
to pick a
tango.
side, pick the player side because that's the right side.
I think it's the more reasonable
That's the
side
more
to
reasonable
take because
side.
they are getting mistreated. But at the same time, some of the way that these guys act, it's repulsive.
But then hold
I'm
on.
firmly on the player side.
Yeah, but then you have owners like Jerry Reinsdorf who own the Chicago Bulls, and it doesn't matter if the Chicago White Sox don't make him money; he's going to profit off the Chicago Bulls, and that's my Reinsdorf impersonation. But point being, you have people like that who are just so wrapped up in these ways, right? They're not going to change that. Are you going to get them to sell the team? I don't know. Maybe
No.
I don't know. It's just, and then you have people like Hal Steinbrenner who are just as cheap as it gets, and you own the Yankees. I'm going to say this because
cheap. That dude shells
for
out
the Yankees, they're cheap.
Millions.
They don't. I don't
They
think
have by far.
they don't
actually,
spend-
No,
The
the Dodgers.
They don't
Yankees
spend
do
the way they
not
do.
spend the money
the way they should have.
they should. They make an absurd amount of money a year, and they
don't spend it.
They are contemplating a stopgap shortstop. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think
we'll
that's
We'll get
insane.
into that later.
I think
but
that's insane.
Before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say, now there are some players that have tweeted out. Actually, yesterday, Mitch Haniger of the Mariners.
Mitch, yep.
Tyler Matzik,
I saw that one.
postseason hero of the Braves. Scherzer, we know what happened there. But specifically, Haniger and Matzik, they both had the same points yesterday. We will never reach a deal, and this doesn't go for baseball. This just goes for life in general.
Oh, God.
If you don't negotiate, you are never going to resolve anything. And the fact it took the owners 43 days to put something on the table is absolutely ridiculous.
That's asinine.
And we're taking 3 weeks off at Christmas. Come on now.
Okay, well, that's Christmas, though.
Holidays are important.
Yes, there you go.
But you know how much money is on the line for you guys?
Baseball's just losing money as it is, and they're just tanking it even.
I think
It's
we
atrocious.
end it right there. I think that's a
I
great
think it
way
was a good way
to end.
so-
the
Do
lockout
better,
talk.
baseball.
Do
Jesus.
better.
Do better.
That's the motto.